What is this? Is this better than Rejuvenate? Let's find out on this episode of Figure Fix Friday. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us once again on the DStar01 channel. I'm your host, Dexter Arafiles, and welcome to another episode of Figure Fix Friday, where I fix action figures, whether it's mine or yours. So today, we'll be doing a test. Rejuvenate versus this new solution called KiKi. I found this on eBay, and someone in the last video said, hey, can you look into this solution and see if it's better than Rejuvenate? And today, we're going to look at that. Now, a little heads up about this video. I recorded this video already. It's already done. This figure is actually fixed and tested and everything like that. And if you're wondering, well, why aren't you showing us that? The sound on that video got completely destroyed. I honestly don't know why or how it happened. I guess it's because I was messing around with the settings on my mic to sound better, but unfortunately it did not, and it just sounded like trash. So what we have here is a complete figure, and I'm just going to tell you exactly what I did, and maybe in the corner over here we're going to show some video of what I did and how I applied it. So I'm just going to get right into this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did and what the issue was on this cloud to begin with. Let's talk about it. So this is the Bring Arts Cloud Strife from Kingdom Hearts. Obviously on the box it doesn't say Kingdom Hearts, but this has been one of my favorite figures this year. I put him on my desk, I pose him all the time, and eventually over time he started to get really loose. Like to the point where, you know how I do the flop test, and I would flop him around like that. The legs were just all over the place, the arms were all over the place, and more importantly, he wasn't holding his heavy Buster Sword. Whenever I put it into this hand, it would just go, it would plop down like that, and I was just getting so angry. So I tried Rejuvenate, right? It's my go-to solution, and I tried it on this hand, in this arm in particular. And after a while, I said, okay, it worked. He started to hold up his sword, but then after a couple of weeks, and you know, I always pose and play with this figure, it started to droop down again. It wasn't a permanent solution, okay? So what I did before I found KiKi, and I guess you can already figure out which one's the better solution. But anyway, I drilled out a hole into this hand, which, by the way, when you buy this figure, you do not get a second hand so he can two-hand the Buster. No. So you have to drill out a hole yourself so you can hold the Buster. I guess we'll go over that in another video if you guys really want me to. But anyway, so I drilled out a hole here, so now you can two-hand it, so that whole droopy hand thing was an issue. And also, the fact that he does that in the game helped a lot, so it wasn't too much of a problem. So someone finally said, hey, can you check out this solution? And this gave me the opportunity to test out Cloud Strife here and tighten up all his joints. Everything was getting loose. The cape, the wing, the legs, the foot, everything like that was just super loose. So I'm going to tell you what I did. I took some Rejuvenate, and I've always put it in a syringe, and I rejuvenated this side of his body. And these are the results for Rejuvenate. As you can see here, the up and down in the foot is no longer loose, and the leg is no longer, or the knee joint is no longer loose. But as you can see, every time I do something like this, it seems like the Rejuvenate is coming off, which is probably why it doesn't last that long. Especially if you're constantly posing and constantly posing and playing with a figure, the Rejuvenate will eventually wear out, and I think it's just not designed to, obviously it said wood floor, it's not designed to stick onto plastic for long periods of time. And then of course I put some on the ball joint here on the leg. It is tight, see, he can even hold his leg like that. Before, if I were to do that, it would just go, but now it can stay and can hold a pose. So, I mean, it does work. Rejuvenate is excellent. This has been my go-to solution for quite some time. And then I put some in the arm joint right there, which actually shows little improvement to my surprise, but the elbow does seem to be much tighter, and also the wrist does seem a lot tighter. And as you can see here, let's put this here. Right, so he can hold up his Buster Sword like so. Before it would just go like this, but now that I put the Rejuvenate on it, it does tighten it up decently well. And last but not least, his wing is definitely tighter. So here's the deal. Rejuvenate does work. But I'm going to tell you right now, KiKi is better. Hands down, KiKi is much better, and I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to put up and down here at the ankle. Yeah, sure, it's super tight, but here's the big reason why I love KiKi much better. If you guys can hear that, that sounds like a brand new joint. That sound right there is something that I'm used to hearing whenever I open up a brand new figure and I move around the joints, and this is the sound it makes. Also, it is significantly tighter. I can tell right away, and when I move it up and down, you'll notice that it actually doesn't come off like Rejuvenate does. So, wow, that's really cool. And so I also put some on the leg right here, and this is really tight. Look, watch. See, I'm going to push down on this foot, the same force that I did on the other foot. His leg should go down, but no, it is not going down. That means this stuff has tightened it up significantly. This is quite amazing. This is like for $8, this is great. And this is also $8. But the issue here is when it comes to these two, let me just talk about these two real quick. You have to, if you live in the US, you have to wait about 2 weeks to get this, because the guy who makes this on eBay, he lives in Thailand, I believe. So it's going to take you a while to get this if you can't wait. If you can't wait, Rejuvenate is pretty good. Especially if you don't really play with your toys that much or pose them that much. You pretty much pose it, stick it in the display case, that's it, and then you're going to pose it next month. Yeah, Rejuvenate works really well. But if you constantly move around with your figures, KiKi is definitely the go-to solution and definitely worth the wait, in my opinion. So again, we're going into the shoulder joint. Yeah, definitely. It tightened up significantly. Elbow joint, super tight. This feels like his whole right side feels like a new figure. The whole left side feels like it does feel better, but it does not feel like a new figure. So here's the test that really sold me on KiKi here. Okay, I'm going to show you. Because of the fact that he didn't have a sword holding hand on this hand, but he had it on this one, I constantly had this sword on this hand, obviously. And then eventually over time it just kept drooping. He wouldn't hold it anymore, like I said before. But since I put KiKi on there, look at that. He holds it. I can wiggle this hand around. That is not going down at all. He is holding it up like a champ. Like a true soldier would. And that right there has really sold me on this solution. So here we go. We're just going to put both two-handed cloud right there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple to apply this stuff too, because he comes with a squeeze bottle, and it does come with a pin too, so you can easily just put it in. I guess we could do just a quick, I didn't really tighten the neck joint. I guess I can just show you how I did it. You just pretty much put a little bit into the socket. A little bit does go a long way, and you just stick that in there. Move it around a little bit, and that's it. That's all you really need to do in order to get Rejuvenate and KiKi to work. So let's come up with a conclusion of this test that unfortunately I did not capture fully on film, but nonetheless, I'm going to tell you the conclusion. It should be pretty obvious which one I love better. I was an advocate for Rejuvenate. Whenever someone would ask me, hey, how do I tighten joints? I always lead them to the test video that I did, where Rejuvenate just pretty much wiped the floor with everything else. It lasted the longest and stuff like that. We have a new king of the hill here when it comes to tightening joints. Yes, KiKi is much better. Hands down. Much better. But you know what? This is kind of just a 24-hour test. This only took me 24 hours to test this, and who knows how long KiKi will actually last. Like I said before, Rejuvenate only lasted me like 1 or 2 weeks, and then it started to just really wear down and go back to where it was. Because this just wasn't designed to adhere to plastic. This, I believe, is more suited to adhere to plastic, so it should, in theory, because I didn't even see any of it come off when I was moving joints. And I've been moving joints for about an hour on this figure just to be sure that KiKi does last longer, or should. And I guess we're going to finish this test in about a week or two. Like I said, I always constantly pose clouds, so it should work. And that is the conclusion of this video. KiKi is indeed better. You can go down the link down below. You can get it on eBay. And if you're in the US, it'll take about 1 or 2 weeks to get to you. So that is my conclusion. Highly recommend it if you're looking to tighten up your joints. This stuff is my go-to now. Bye, Rejuvenate. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you're looking for awesome action figures, you know where to go. Say it with me. You can go to www.dstartoys.com, your reliable source for awesome action figures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Hey, you. Thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Where? Right here. Not there, right here. You. And thanks for watching. So, rate, comment, and subscribe. Right here, right there, right here. Yeah.